Welcome to a new edition of the MDC Podcast. On this occasion, we're going to be talking about
PHNX Festival.
Mar, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mar. We wanted to tell you our side of the story and how things went.
We're going to take you through our personal experience, how the whole journey was, and yeah, let's get right into it.
Let's go.
So, how did we go to the PHNX Festival?
First, we saw Billy's reels on Instagram that were hilarious, right? We're like, what? He's in our country, in our island, Utila, doing what? You know, and we were like joking about it too. Like, oh my God, FYRE Honduras edition. Like, what's going to happen? I want to go. We should play there. I told you, right?
Yeah, Utila used to be famous for a party called the Sun Jam back in the day, which was actually done in one of the keys, which was like an epic party where I used to go when I was, out of high school, stuff like that in college.
It was a hippie party.
It was a hippie party of all the people who came and diving on the island or just lived there.
People from all around the world, right?
All around the world. There wasn't much infrastructure. Utila has come a long way. From being kind of like an unknown island to kind of like a semi-destination for diving and stuff like that.
It's the cheapest place in the world to dive, I've heard.
Yeah, so you saw that, and then all of a sudden, a few days or weeks later...
So I reposted it. I reposted the reel. And then my friend, who's a music producer... Truco.
Who is Residente's producer.
Yes.
Residente.
So he writes me and he's like, oh my God, they invited me to play. But I can't go because the dates don't match for me. Do you guys want me to recommend you guys? And I'm like, oh my God, that's so funny. I just told JP that we should play there.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, I'll hook you up. And then the event organizer writes us a DM. Let's have a call and talk about it.
So basically, we said yes. We said yes because why not? Because it was going to be in Utila. We thought it was going to be, kind of crazy experience.
Yeah.
We kind of wanted to see what it was about.
We were so curious. That was like the main reason that...
Yeah, because we had seen the documentary. We had heard of the FYRE Fest and Mr. Billy McFarland. And immediately we saw the comments and there was like a ton of hate.
A lot of hate. Like people were just waiting there to hate,
Some of it was pretty funny. The one thing I can say is I admire Billy's persistence and ability to, maybe he doesn't even read the comments or he doesn't care. I don't know. Even we were aware that there might be some negative responses from people. And we even thought about like, oh, should we participate? We asked a few people and they were like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be part of it.
Cancel culture is real, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think the contract was pretty clear and they were paying all of our expenses. They were flying us there and they were covering every expense, So if we had to put money from our pockets to go, I don't think we would have gone because...
I think anyone who's watching this, they would be telling you, like, if you would have to, if that's ridiculous.
Yes. And also, guys, like, that's pretty common too, that for some festivals, they offer you exposure and they offer you the expenses and stuff like that. Or some festivals, you have to get there on your own expense.
It's a shitty deal, but this is the industry we live in.
Yes.
There's so many musicians and people competing for those same spots that it's just something happens.
It's a tough industry.
Mind you, in Honduras, there is a presidential election that it was going on right before. I don't know if they were aware or if anyone cared that there might be, some turmoil on the ground. So we were kind of like waiting to see what happened with that. And then the week after... we were going to go to the festival, which basically we were assured that the flights were going to be bought a week in advance.
Yes, that was part of the contract. Like very clear that a week before everything had to be booked and paid for. We weren't going to get to the airport and they're going to tell us, oh, you have to, no.
Because of the reputation that, the FYRE festivals they had, I think that was like everyone's kind of number one concern. You know what I mean? The person that was recommended to us to take care of the artists and make sure that happened, he was recommended to us as a professional person. That it was different. It wasn't Billy. We never had contact with Billy or anything, right? So it was one of his guys. And all in all, he was Mike. Mike was great.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, there's no direct flights, international flights to Utila.
There's no like commercial airport in Utila.
There's basically 3 ways to get to Utila. Either you drive or fly to La Ceiba, which is the closest city on the mainland, and you take a ferry there, or you fly into Roatán, and then you take a ferry from Roatán to Utila, or you take a private plane charter flight from some city directly to Utila, which has a small airport. The organizers chose to have us fly from Tegucigalpa to Roatán and take the ferry from Roatán to Utila.
Which was a long trip.
It was a long trip.
It was like a whole day of traveling.
Yeah. And I think that was one of the things in doing it on Utila that was a problem, and that's something that we asked. How are they going to get all these people to this island, right?
And not only to Utila, but it wasn't even on the main island Utila. It was in a little key. It's called Diamond Key, and you would have to take a boat there. Logistics were tough.
Logistics were tough. So when we were on the ferry, we were waiting for the ferry. We got in Roatán, and we were like, whoa, we're going to see, people.
Festival goers.
We're going to see people heading over.
Because I guess that was the ferry that was right before the first day, right? So we thought, everyone who's going to the festival who's taking the ferry are probably on this ferry.
Yeah. And when we got there was maybe a few people. There was not anyone on the ferry. All right. It was basically just us. I think everyone who was either organizing or...
Not even locals, right?
No, not even locals. Yeah.
Maybe like a few foreigners, like... 4?
Yeah, but I don't think they were traveling to the festival. Even I had a lot of people tell me that they hadn't even heard of the festival on Roatán. So the island right next to Utila, no one knew that the festival was going.
They posted the lineup like a few days before, you know?
The day when we were about to get the ferry, we started seeing that the lineup started to show up. Who we did find on the ferry was Balto, which is a electronic music DJ and also one of the event organizers from this big festival that they do here called Modular. And lo and behold, what does he have on the ferry? What was he taking?
Oh, he had the turntables.
Yes, he was taking the CDJs or XDJs to the festival. So basically, like, we were traveling with the equipment and they told us that we had to go to sound check. Right? Once we got to the island. This is Friday, all right? We get to the island. We arrived here in Utila. We're here at the dock, and we're going to get to the hotel. Pretty lively. Arrived at the hotel that they had booked for us. But they don't know what rooms we're going to be in. I'm starting to smell something fishy going on. Hotel?
It actually smells fishy.
No, it doesn't. We basically get off the ferry, take our bags, we go to a hotel, we get changed, take a little tuk-tuk down to the boat. We're on the boat. We get there. So we got to the island. And it's the day before the event. And there is a lot to do, guys. We came for sound check, but I think they're still in the process of this getting kind of some shit in order.
So we get to Diamond Key.
Yeah.
And it was basically a construction zone.
Basically, speakers are on the floor.
Yeah, everything's unplugged. There's not even a table for the DJ. We got there and like they were moving sand, like machines were moving sand.
They had brought a lot of sand to the island because I guess they needed to kind of level some terrain.
Yeah.
We were there, and there was people working, putting cables underground. Nothing to eat.
They had water.
They had water, yeah.
But we hadn't eaten since breakfast. So we were kind of hungry, and we were like, is there any food here? They gave us a pear and an apple, and we had to work with that.
So we're there trying to set up audio.
And we're a live act, right? Like we're not just DJing. So our setup is a little bit more complicated.
No, and I took equipment, cables. I took a direct box, power extension, vocal processor.
I asked for a mic stand. Like I needed one because that's where I put my vocal processor.
There weren't enough XLR cables to connect.
Or they weren't long enough.
They couldn't connect any of the stuff from the DJ table to the sound mixer. They had a electrical box, which had a false contact. And when they started hooking up the things,
power would go out.
Power would kind of go out. And we were like, hey, this box isn't it's not going to do it. I don't want to trash on the sound guy.
No, he was just not prepared.
He wasn't prepared to take on the type of events.
And to solve problems. He just didn't know how. It's not his fault.
But the other thing was they didn't have a mixer for the DJs. And they brought another mixer. They hooked it up, but no one wanted to play with that mixer.
No one knew how to use it. It was an old mixer.
Everyone is used to Pioneer setups, right?
Yes.
Pioneer mixers, Pioneer decks. They did not have that one, which was like a 900 series. And basically, Friday comes around. It's getting dark at 5:30 on the island.
Yeah,
and it's December. It's December.
Yeah.
And once it starts getting dark, we realize,
oh no, there's no lights.
There's no lights. There's no lights in the Palapa. They had no lights.
So many hazards.
Yeah.
Because they're still in construction, right? There are machines everywhere. There is no light, and we can't see anything. We're using our cell phone flash, to kind of look for stuff.
We had no monitoring. We had no sound check. We left. We basically left. We were
tired. We were dehydrated. We had been traveling all day. So,
okay, we're just going to do sound check next day. We're just going to see what happens, right? Mind you, I didn't know set times.
So they didn't have a schedule. We didn't really know who was playing at what time.
They told us that we had to be there at 10. So we were like, okay, guys, we don't know what to expect. We have to prepare, right?
Yeah.
Let's have a good breakfast. We had a place down the street, which was Munchie's Cafe, which was pretty good. Breakfast
really good.
And then we were like, we got to get some supplies.
Yeah, we can't just trust them, let's. And I'm like, why don't we get a cooler, our own cooler? We get refreshments, we get our own water, our own drinks.
Some Gatorades, some alcohol.
Some snacks or something, because let's be prepared to be stranded on a mini island. We never know, right?
Yeah. So we go to the store, we get the tuk-tuk, we go, and now we're on the boat with all the dudes. They're heading over there because they're starting acts. They wanted people to be there early. Okay, we're good. We're on time.
We're having a nice time with the other artists, getting to know the other DJs that came.
Mm-hmm.
So
we were with Kanike,
crew.
KBP crew from La Ceiba. We were with FYRE.
Bobby Shmurda. Cool guy.
Yeah. We get to the island. And to be honest, guys, it was pretty cool.
We were impressed.
We were like, they got everything set up.
I could not believe that they did that overnight with no light.
Yeah. These guys must be exhausted, all these dudes. You know what
yes, I mean? They worked, the staff were working all night, probably. So we get there and it's so pretty, right?
They got signs up. They have coconuts. They have the ladies with they
had the cocktail bars. Mm. They had a fruit bar, guys, that was so cool. An assortment of tropical exotic fruit.
If you guys take it as face value, as you're on a key in the Caribbean off the small island in Honduras, which Utila is just like a magical place in general.
It's beautiful, guys. It
was great. You know what I mean? You looked around and it was just like, you're going to go for a swim. If you have a boat, you're up in your boat, or there were dudes in jet skis.
Yeah, they were renting jet skis. They had swings by the ocean.
Friends of ours who were cooking, they were making, they had grilling chicken.
Yeah.
They had the Red Cross.
Oh
They
yeah,
had-
the Red Cross, like they had a team like prepared if
Yeah.
any hazard or anything.
They had the porta potties.
Yeah.
You know, the like.
My friend had a jewelry stand that was so pretty too.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so hot. I've been sweating so much, so I needed to chill for a bit. The live stream has started, and they have cameras all over the mini island. Behind me, you can see that they're interviewing someone, and it's like the live stream. It's like a mix of shots of the stage, and then they go to an interview, or they go to like scenes of the island, of the party. Boats are starting to come with people, full of people. So everything seems to be looking nice and fun, and I don't know. I'm hoping for the best. And then the stage, which is the big palapa, right?
The big palapa, which
Yeah, let's talk about the big palapa.
I doubt that these guys, like, I doubt it was them who built it. I think that palapa was going to get made whether or not there was going to be an event
Yeah,
or not. But I
probably.
think this kind of like put it into motion. So
Yeah.
we're like, okay, maybe we can make a base for these events in the future. You know what I mean? Because if you go to Roatan, there's a whole bunch of keys like that already.
And they already have the infrastructure.
Yeah, there's we went to
Brady's Key.
Brady's Key.
Little French Key,
Little-
big French Key.
Yeah. And-
All of them, like they're all set. If they would have rented one of those, like it would have been so much
Yeah.
easier for them and cheaper, I think.
we made the question several times. Why didn't they do this in Roatan? So reasons why.
Roatan has an airport,
International airport.
international. Yeah,
It has roads. It has car rentals. You know,
Yes.
in Utila, you have to go like either on a motorcycle, bicycle, go kart,
tuk-tuk.
or like some type of ATV. Yeah, I'm just like, why did you guys didn't do it in Roatan?
I think because the main connection they told me was the Coral View owner, and he's in Utila, and his business is in Utila, so he's interested in promoting Utila. You know, I
Yeah.
think for him, whether anything and any publicity, even if it's like controversial, is great for Utila because it's gonna bring more tourism. You
Yeah.
know, so I think that he was the one who convinced them to do it in Utila.
Yes.
That's my theory.
Yes, I'm interested to see how Billy came to know about Utila and all this stuff.
I think they already knew this guy from Coral View. I think they
Okay.
were friends before.
Okay, I know he was an event, some type of
Promoter,
event,
yeah.
promoter.
I don't
manager.
know if he knew Billy, but he knew the people
Yeah.
from Miami or Mike, because Mike told me he knew.
Okay.
They knew this guy.
Yeah, so that kind of makes sense. So who put the money for the palapa? I'm not really sure. I don't think it came from the event. I do not think that the palapa was prepared to have the
Luxury.
the offerings.
No.
Yes. I'm pretty sure maybe if someone would have paid for the offerings.
It was insanely expensive. But with that money, if someone pays for that, I
Yeah.
guess they would have constructed it to be
Yeah.
like the luxury palapa he was selling.
I would have liked lights though,
Dude.
because they
I
didn't
know.
have lights. They said the lights. Someone said that the lights got
Stranded.
How are you working months there and you're like realizing, you know what, guys, we don't have any lights. You know what I mean? Maybe we should get some lights. No,
So they ordered the lights.
no, the lights can wait. The lights can wait. We don't
Something
need
like-
lights. You know how many nights you had to be working on the island? You know what I mean? Or even having just looking around, like setting up. You know, buy some string lights, bro.
Yeah.
Buy like 10 string lights, 20 string lights. They're like $70.
It was it
know,
was kind of simple, right?
Go to PriceSmart, you know, like go to Costco, you know, get some lights. So that was for something else. We were like, okay. I digressed.
Things are looking better today. We got to the island on time with the whole crew of artists. We're here backstage. This is the artist space, and we're getting ready. Most Dangerous City plays third, so I'm getting a little bit of makeup touch because it's so hot and so humid that, like, you know, my face was a mess, but it's nice. The weather is really nice and sunny, and it looks way more organized than yesterday. So let's see how this goes.
I saw the video guys. They had this whole station set up with a live
The
streaming.
video
gig.
guys were like, they seem really pro.
Yeah, they were not Honduran. They came from somewhere else. I don't know from
Yeah.
where. But they had, Sony FX6s. They had, good lens, good
Their
equipment.
streaming equipment was on point. Yeah.
They were kind of trying to figure it out too. They were like, I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Who's going to play? Like the guy was like, who's going to play? And I was like, I don't know. And then I asked Sundance, right? It was one of those funny moments where I was like, hey, we were kind of we started like 12:30, I think Florida's going first. And he's like, who are you? Right? And I'm like, oh, I'm most interested. And he's like, sorry, bro. No one knew what the heck was going on.
Like there was nobody coordinating this important logistics for a music event.
It's a music event.
The music is important.
That's the important part of it. I would not like to think that maybe because we were like, the Honduran band, like no one gave a shit. You know what I mean?
It's probably that.
It could be that. You know what I mean? But this is why I don't think it was that. Because at 11:30, you know what they were missing?
The mixer.
They
didn't have a mixer yet.
They didn't get the freaking mixer yet. I'm like,
okay, so update, we got here on the artist boat, but they didn't have the mixer that they needed to start. So they're scrambling to get a mixer.
You guys didn't get the mixer? The one that we didn't have yesterday? No one said that there was not going to be a mixer? Oh my God. That was something that was just like, amateur hour. You know what I mean? At this point.
Yes.
So
amazing.
I'm worried more about the stupid mixer and how are we going to set this up and whatever. And I'm trying to help. The other DJs started playing with the old mixer, so eventually they would have to change it someone's mid set, which happened to be our mid set. They got the mixer and they started changing the mixer. That's why there's like everyone around. You're like just hanging out.
You're just like in a little corner. That's why it looks like I'm just singing karaoke because I'm alone in the stage. You're not even there. You're in the back.
Yeah, I'm in the back on the DJ table. You know what I mean? These other dudes like setting up the stuff. That's fine. I don't mind. But what the audio guy told us, and this was the interesting. Yeah, the streaming guys asked me to send them 2 lines. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you mean? They wanted the vocals and they wanted the music separate. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, okay.
And then we think, those guys know what they're doing, right?
They're going to do the mix.
Because they seem pretty on point.
Usually when you do a mix like that, you have like your monitor mix. You have your front of house mix, which is what the people hear. And then you have, if you're going to have a live stream, you have like another person mixing that. Yeah. Right? And that would have either had to be the master mix or it would have to be a specific mix. I just think he sent the dry signals out and he just
set it completely dry.
Set it and forget it, right? And mind you guys that, this is not like a $10,000 audio setup or mic or processors or anything. This is basically, we've been in danky setups, guys. Like, we're
kind of used to it. Like we had to work with what we were handed.
Yeah.
And
after that, we were like, oh my gosh, we killed it. We gave each other.
Yeah, because our
even if there wasn't anyone there, guys, we saw people in the crowd, who were like other artists and friends of ours, and they were enjoying it. And we enjoyed it because we felt that, we did a good job in terms of our performance. And being on the ground, it's a lot different than seeing it on the screen or on social media. Yeah. Because you're on a freaking island and you're just having a good time and you're drinking coconuts and you're just like chilling and it's the afternoon. And it's like the sunset.
And it's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day. You know what I mean? So for us, we ended up today like having a great time. It was an Utila Island party. If you guys have ever been to one of these places, you know what the vibe is. Probably not paying what you would have been charged. Maybe you would have been pissed off in that aspect. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if you were like one of these like Utila parties, you know what I mean, you'd be having fun. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just like we were.
And everyone was having fun. And we were all vibing. We were all dancing. We were all like having a great time getting to know each other too, It was very special.
It was very special.
And we even forgot about the stream. We didn't even think about. We thought no one was going to pay for the pay-per-view,
Honestly, when the lights went out and it was just like, I'm going to look for my stuff because it might get lost because you couldn't see anything in the palapa anymore, right?
Yeah. They had the stage lights and they had, the bar was lighted, the food had light,
And the party continued and we got pretty drunk and we had fun. And then we kind of left early.
Like at 9, right?
At 9. We were
because it was like a day thing.
Yeah.
It was definitely a day thing to enjoy during the day. So
They said they were there until like what, 3 o'clock?
yeah,
Something like
people
that?
stayed.
People-
There was more people by then, right? So I think people really enjoyed the rappers and the KBP show and the French Montana. Like people were really into it, and some locals came too, and that was pretty
Yeah.
cool for them. You know, what a cool experience.
The way they promoted this event, they kind of wanted to make a high luxury style event. I think you have to start with the people who live on the island,
Yeah.
you know, and then go from there. Like there aren't people with. It's not Miami,
No,
you know. It's not New York.
it's not Thailand.
It's not LA. It's not the French Riviera.
It's more of an adventure destination.
Yeah.
So
this-
it should be like an adventure-oriented event, you know, more than a luxury one. That's what I think.
Utila is great as it is. I think these types of events, and I got into an argument with someone about this.
Yeah.
Right? She was giving me crap because I was like kind of questioning, like, is this really the type of?
Is this convenient for the island, actually, you know?
I think convenient, yes, in the sense that more people get to know Utila, but what type of people are you trying to attract? Because look what happened to Tulum. Look what happened to all these other places of over tourism and something I don't think anyone realized, any of the people who were there, that there's a reef. People dive. There's an ecosystem that is the sustenance of the island.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, and the partying, yes, we can understand that, you know, and that's great. But you know, you have this other part that's what makes it unique and beautiful. So once you just have like douchebags in yachts and just like, bro, let's fucking party till sundown.
Yeah. Is that
know-
yeah? Is
you
that
know
what
what I
we
mean?
want? Yeah.
I think tourism is amazing, especially countries like Honduras, which are under, you know. So why was there a proper film crew, and why was there like a kind of half-assed audio?
I don't understand. I mean, I think since they were selling the pay-per-view, and I think they genuinely thought that they were doing this event for the pay-per-view because they thought they were going to have a lot of ticket sales there.
Well, I think they kind of pivoted many times
Yeah.
to started selling these expensive packages, to coming up with the golden ticket, to then doing.
Did he sell the
selling-
golden ticket?
I think they gave it away. I think they also did like it was $140,000 artist pass. Like if you wanted to hang out with the artist and all this, you know what I mean? You know, you would have to pay that, you know what I mean, for this exclusive right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
what you were saying. Yeah.
You know, I just hate like anything that's too exclusive or VIP. I'm just like, you know, I don't want to be that.
Count me out.
Count me out.
Yeah.
So let's make it about community, you know?
People were asking me about the third day too.
Yeah, well, let's get to the third day, which basically we wake up, 2:20 kid.
You're everywhere, he tells me. You're everywhere. And I'm like, what do you mean? You're everywhere. And I'm like, in a good way or in a bad way? Both.
I think the moment when he said that, I was in the realization that like this is gonna have wings.
Yeah, because we know the haters were ready to hate on any detail that they
Yeah.
got wrong, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, guys, I would have laughed too if I would have heard that said like that. You know, it sounded really bad. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it was like the worst sound I've ever had. Like we play electronic music, right? So for electronic music with vocals to sound good, there has to be a proper mix, levels,
a little bit of reverb,
and
know what I
also
mean?
the voice has to
Some-
have processing.
some delays, some
I don't
compression.
really use autotune live, but I do use a bunch of effects like reverb, delays, phasers. Like I play around with my effects. I love effects.
You have your TC Helicon pedal.
That's one
you
of the
know.
reasons I got into electronic music is because I love processing my voice, right? So our music, that's part of it, right? But they send the dry mix.
Yeah.
And also the level of the voice is so high, you can't
know.
I
know.
I'm basically singing a cappella there. Look, I don't even want to see the comments because I don't know how I'm going to react. So I'm not going to see anything till we get home.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to enjoy the island, my last day, the goodbye party with the artist. I just wanted to hang out, right?
with the guy party, the
Goodbye party, yeah.
goodbye party.
Yeah.
That was nice because we had all the people that we hanged out with. It was kind of like our way to say goodbye. You know what I mean? Billy was not to be seen.
No, we never saw Billy the third day.
Even the day of the event, I felt like Billy was like, what was Billy doing?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about Billy. So
there was obviously things that were missing and things that had to be done. And we kind of felt like there was no one really. It was kind of weird. I don't know if there was anyone like an event organizer who was making sure there was like checklists, mixer, lights, you know,
artists.
And Billy was on his phone all the time. I don't know if he was trying to set up with the pilot. Or wow, that's another thing. They had to do this illegal landing,
emergency landing
on Utila. And
was it for French Montana?
Yeah, it was their plane that they came from, I think, from the States to Roatán, from Roatán, Utila. They were not authorized to land in Utila. They did not give them permission, so they had to do an emergency landing. And basically, they detained the pilot, you know. And
the police came?
Yeah, the authorities, you know, they were
wow.
Bro, because like that's another thing. That airport it's been closed for a while.
Yeah.
And it's a perfectly functioning runway that they built it. It's a new airport that they built, but with a dirt road, you know. But it's been abandoned for years.
No
so
commercial flights.
There's only small kind of prop planes, you know.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, Honduras is a little bit of a area where there is drug trafficking.
Yeah.
So I also think it's kind of like, yo, these planes can't be landing here because, you know, that's kind of, you know, only our planes can land here.
It was kind of dangerous, honestly.
Yeah. So I think when these guys landed, they got fined, I think it was $15,000. You know, I don't even think they have a air traffic control. It's all controlled by Roatán.
Who knows?
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to Billy,
I think he was dealing with that.
Maybe.
That Saturday.
We kind of saw him like in a...
like an existential doom.
Yeah.
He looked like he was having like an existential crisis, you know, like, I don't know. I'm thinking it was because of that or whatever, but because the first day he was pretty jolly and he greeted the artists and he was like, welcome. He asked me like, are they treating you well? Are you set up? Do you need anything else? And I'm like, I need sound. That's what I told him. Oh, yeah, talk to someone. But he was like at least there. But Saturday I felt he wasn't even there. He was, I mean, physically he was there, but he was just like on his phone and worried.
Mm-hmm. I felt bad for one of the DJs for Canny K.
Canny K.
Yeah, she was there and
she's so cool.
She's so cool
and cute.
She was just like,
she was about to play and then we were backstage and she looks at me and she tells me, do you think anyone's gonna come? And I'm like, girl, you perform for the live stream. If there's no one there, you play for the live stream, okay?
A lot of questions, though. A lot of questions. You know, after the live stream debacle, we became kind of viral on TikTok.
Oh, my God.
It's kind of like a blessing and a curse at the same time because we've kind of gotten a lot of people to listen to our music that had never listened to our music before.
Look, the first day was like the trolling day, like boom, 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 and I didn't want to see the comments because, you know, I wasn't gonna pay attention to that. But then we start getting traffic to our TikTok. I'm gonna start posting our music on our TikTok, right? And we actually start getting amazing comments of where can I find this song? I actually love this song.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people like, girl, we understand. You had like your sound mix was really bad. And we got a bunch of musicians also, like, and producers. Like, we get it completely what happened to you, and you have a new fan. So,
yeah, there were a lot of people who gave us support. There were some people who, being the FYRE Festival sequel, you know, there was going to be a lot of automatic hate. Like, it was always going to be a failure.
We were kind of expecting it.
We were expecting it, you know what I mean? But we weren't expecting it to be like...
About us.
About us.
About me. About me, because it's me, you know?
Yeah. and even like, you know, I think we're one of the most like we're kind of mentioned a lot in like all these like the Fire Festival was a mess. Look at how shitty this
I know, I know.
the opening act was. We've been having to do like PR. But honestly, guys, I feel that unless we would have lived it, we couldn't have been talking about it. And they just announced FYRE Fest 2026.
And they invited us
and
again.
they invited us again, which we think is hilarious. So
They have to pay us.
yes, we're gonna get paid next time.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have our own audio engineer.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
don't worry, guys. We'll prove them wrong.
I was also thinking, are they trying to pay for this year's FYRE
Who knows?
Phoenix Fest with next year's
Yeah.
Phoenix Fest? I just do think that they say any publicity is good publicity, but I feel with the doubts that there were about this one, Billy's tainted reputation for the FYRE Fest, them not doing a good job kind of promoting it or maybe reaching the right type of audience.
They didn't have a social media manager.
They were asking for influencers the day of the event. Like I even doubted, right? If some things were done on purpose, or some things were done by mistake, but
Yeah.
I don't think, you know, I just think there was like maybe some incompetence of kind of like thinking about this stuff before, you know?
Yeah. But then also, one of my theories was this is just like this event, they're not even expecting people to come. They just want to film it and make it look cool so they can sell the next one. That's what I thought.
But really, I don't know what type of perspective they want. Like, you know what I mean? If they wanted chaos, did they get it? Besides, you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
said there was a fight. They said there was a fight and that Billy was involved. You know what I
That
mean?
someone got punched in the
Someone
face.
got punched in the face. I know someone got punched on the face on Friday, but this was with
By Billy?
No. This was with the pre-party on Friday night between some local and one of the security people.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they started saying
Rumors.
that was Billy to try to create this, you know, thing. Because the Sunday party, it was fun. There was people playing, but it was just artists and staff.
It was a goodbye party.
It was
for
a
the
goodbye
staff.
party for the staff.
Yeah.
And I think there were some guests there. Okay, let's talk about the people who were there, who we
Yeah.
met. They brought a couple, like a YouTube
Yeah.
influencer.
Yeah. No cap on God.
Yeah, Lionel.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude.
Pretty cool.
We ended up
I liked him.
we ended up talking with him. Other Canadian, Vancouver
Sage, who's a very cool photographer.
photographer.
She was taking pictures.
Yeah. Shout
Yeah.
outs to Sage. She was great.
She did a photo shoot of us.
Yes.
I'm excited about that. Yeah.
There were like the DJs, and there were. It was funny because like there were like 2 hotels, right? It was 3 hotels, right? It was
Yeah.
Coral View, which I think that's where like organizers were staying at, right? It was us that we
Manuri.
were in Manuri, right? Which was basically we're kind of like the DJs and some of the
and some of the guests, the Canadian.
yeah. All the
Uh-huh.
all the influencers and we were staying in that hotel, and then you had
And the DJs.
Igloo Hotel,
Uh-huh.
which were all the rappers.
All the rappers. They
Yeah, yeah.
separate.
Yeah. A little bit of discrimination there, right? They were segregating the the foreign DJs with all the rapper guys, right?
But for some reason, they just like separated us.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. Maybe one hotel was more chill, and the other one hotel was more like a
guess
party.
They wanted more like a party place for the rappers, and the Igloo place was more for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, more open.
And then Manuri is like a very zen
Yeah,
garden with a pool and like very chill, crown-bing music.
What else happened? I think after that, we kind of just went back to Roatán and then hanged out on the beach. We've been dealing with this whole, you know,
Viral thing.
viral.
And since we start getting also like new followers, and a lot of support too from people who
yeah.
saw us at the viral video, but then came to our profile, then we decided to make the best out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think there's several interests. Yes, it was a joint event. Depends what angle you were coming from. You were kind of trying to promote that. The locals, obviously, they have the local economy, right? They're
Yeah.
paying for tuk-tuks, food, all this stuff. They interest them. You got hotel owners who are kind of promoting that Utila is like a destination, so we can be more like a Roatan or like a event destination. Then you got maybe the sponsors who are like, hey, we can make kind of these reality TV shows and sell it to Netflix or something.
Yeah.
And then you have, I don't know, I guess Billy, who just wants to do like a fun music festival or like
His dream. He wants to accomplish his dream.
Thank you to the people who invited us. We had a great time. We loved meeting all the artists.
Yeah. That was our experience at the Phoenix, aka FYRE Fest.
FYRE Fest
2025. Yeah, and I don't know. I always see the silver lining, and even with all the hate and the trolling, the trolls will troll, but this has gotten people to come to our music, to actually hear our music, and we're bursting the bubble of Honduras, and that was the point.
Yeah.
That's why we went to the festival in the first place, to get people from other countries to listen to our music, because it's in English too. English is not our first language, by the way.
Well, it is mine, but all right, guys. So this has been the MDC podcast. I'm JP,
I'm Mar.
and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.